Rod Harris, head coach of Martin County, joining me, Theo Dorsey, here on ESPN 106.3, talking game of the week, Friday night, hosting Dr. Joaquin Garcia Bulldogs team that started off 3-1. Martin County record, not so bad yourself. First off, appreciate you joining me, and how you feeling about the Tigers so far this year?
Thank you for having me, Theo. 3-1, we're happy. I think we're playing better football right now. Early in the season, I thought we played too emotional at times. It got the best of us with unnecessary penalties. We've cleaned them up, and I thought we had our most complete game last week versus Westwood in all three phases.
What was that game kind of like? Because that was a team, because they're under new leadership, you probably didn't have as much tape on them. That team kind of had a lot of turnover and whatnot. But what did you like out of at least your guys on that side of the ball?
Well, we started off the game. They hit a big play early and went up 6-0. We had a unique interception that kind of kicked up in the air. Defense stepped forward, made a stop, and then after that, I thought we were very resilient. Didn't let it affect us in any way. And again, this goes maturing from early in the year. Just played football. Offensively, I thought our O-line did the best all year, getting hats on people, and that's we pride ourselves on physical football. And our defense has been spectacular all year long.
What's been the biggest thing you've leaned on? Because I know the defense. I think you got a couple shutouts or one shutout so far.
Yeah, we have one shutout, but our defense, I think, has given up like 30 points for the first four games. So we're always going to be. I'm old school. I believe in defense first, and I think it's especially when you play good teams and later in the year, you always rely on defense. You have to get stops at some point. So we'll always be that in special teams, and then offense eventually kicks it into gear. It always takes longer for offense. That's the history of football.
And then for that side of the ball, you lean on the run game a lot, and for good reason. You got talent all over that offense, but specifically when I talked with Coach Walker, he talked about the run game being a big threat. What's working in there? Is it the trenches? Is it the vision out of the backfield? What's been working for the Tigers so far?
Well, running game, always, like I said, you have to put hats on people. And I thought we did a better job in knowing assignments. You know, in offense, if you have one guy mess up, it hurts the whole offense, and people sit there, oh, my God, what's going on? But, we're blessed to have a great coach in Boswell, does the O-line. The biggest thing I thought Paul Hendricks ran like 225-pound last week, was very physical, got him going downfield, and it's tough to tackle him consistently when you got 225 coming at you. With full momentum. And let's not forget the receivers, too. They did a wonderful job blocking downfield, so they weren't gang tackling.
I mean, when you have receivers that are willing to kind of also participate and run block and do some of the gritty work, as a coach, how do you try to almost reward them as well? Because you know that, you got some guys that are top talents as well that want to see the ball in the receiving game.
Oh, that's the way the business is right now. You got to block first, but you know what? In our passing game's been outstanding as well. Manny's done a very good job, and he got a little banged up, and Kellen came in, did a wonderful job as well. Amarian Queen is a gifted athlete. We know that. It's pretty self-evident. But other guys have really stepped up as well, whether it be Antonio Escamilla, Flores has done well. Jaquivas came out last week and had a kind of his breakthrough game. And then we got a young guy, Khalil, who scored 2 touchdowns versus Ridge. So, we're just trying to move the chains and let our playmakers, you know, do what they need to do with the open field. And that's the biggest thing right now.
I'm reflecting back on that interception because it would end up being one of our plays of the week.
Yes.
What did it bounce off of? What did the ball bounce off of there for it to shoot up in the air?
I think it bounced off a guy's foot because it just ricocheted and kind of flipped us and then went way up in the air and kind of lost him. Like, I thought it hit the ground from the naked eye, but no, it did not. It hit out the guy's shoe, went up in the air, and next thing you know, like I said, we're down 6-0. They get the ball going down there, and it's like, oh, God. And our defense, pinned their ears back, made a stop, actually pushed them back a little bit. And from there on in, offense did really, really well from that point of the game after.
I know it's early season, but what does that tell you about your team's resilience? Just to not let something like that compile into other mistakes or loftiness in the mental side of the game?
And that's what we preach. And I mean, every year, the culture remains the same in Martin County. It's not going to change. And it's up to the players to actually follow and understand and believe in it. And we have kids that did that. Early in the year, I think everyone wanted to make the play individually. And when you did try to do it yourself, you're not playing team football, and it hurts because you're hurting somewhere else. And they're starting to believe how dominant we can be defensively, offensively. We put hats on people, and we're physical. We're going to be tough to stop. But, You're only good as your last game. You're never as good as you think you are, never as bad as you think you are. So we got to challenge the Garcia. They're tremendously coached. I like their schemes they're doing. Just the respect for the coaching staff and what they're doing. Offense, defense, and special teams. We've been preparing quite a bit for that as well.
What do you see on tape from them that is going to be a little threatening for a defense that you have that has seen a lot through 4 weeks so far?
So I think defensively, like I said, they're going to run probably an odd front. They're going to load the box and dare you to run the ball. Um, and then, like I said, they don't get beat over the top. They keep everything underneath and make you have 8, 9 play drives. So that's going to be a challenge for us to keep the discipline we need. No penalties and run right at them. Offensively, they're solid around the board. They're 3-1 for a reason. Caleb Butler is outstanding. He completes the ball very, very tight windows. And, like I said, not to forget the special teams. They got some unique formations we've been practicing for because I'm guessing they're going to do an onside kick or a fake punt, and that's what we're preparing for this week.
Is it nice? I mean, for you as somebody that's been coaching in this area for so long, is it nice to see one of these newer programs also start to have some early success? And Dr. Joaquin Garcia, this is their third year, and they're now scheduling bigger games. But last year they kind of showed proof in the pudding by getting 8 wins in their second season. Like, what is it like seeing these new programs kind of breathe life into the area with football?
I think it's great. Coach Walker does a tremendous job. I know him, and I know, from the days of Park Vista, Coach Lucina does the D line, and they're good guys, good coaches. I respect them tremendously, and I'm happy for them. I think they're doing a good job, and the area always needs a little new blood here and there, so that's good for them and good for the program.
Friday night, what needs to happen for the Tigers for y'all to walk out of there with a victory in y'all's first ever meeting with Dr. Joaquin Garcia?
We got to get field position. We got to create turnovers. That's the biggest thing in every football game. I think you win 88% of the time when you have 2 turnovers or more, win that battle. Offensively, we got to move the ball, keep the chains moving, and keep their offense off the field. I think overall they're averaging over probably 35 a game this year when you get all 4 games. And like I said, the quarterback's outstanding. He fits it in tight windows, gets rid of the ball very quickly. So we're going to have a work cut out for us in our secondary.
Got you. We'll appreciate you. We're looking forward to y'all playing host for the HSS High School Gameday Game of the Week. And stay healthy through the week and looking forward to Friday night, Coach.
Thank you, Theo. I appreciate it. Go Tigers.
Theo Dorsey here with head coach Brandon Walker of Dr. Joaquin Garcia. In year three, off to a good start through 4 weeks, 3-1, and you have the game of the week against Martin County on the road. Coach Walker, just first off, thanks for joining us. And how are how the Bulldogs looking right now?
I'll tell you what, we had a good day today. We finally got some good weather. It's hot, which is we needed a good hot workout today. The kids were locked in. They were focused. We got a lot of good stuff done today. So proud of the way they worked today.
Now, for you as a head coach, what do you glean from the 3 shutouts that you guys got in your 3 victories? I know that it feels like in those games you kind of outclassed your opponents, but what are you looking to see out of the Bulldogs from start to finish to make sure that you guys are locked in the whole way through?
I mean, one of the things we talked about is we need to start winning some games that, we're not necessarily supposed to win. So, teams that are ranked higher than us or teams that are playoff teams, we've done a good job of beating sub 500 teams, but haven't done a very good job of competing hard against teams that are ranked. So I expect a better effort from us, both sides of the ball this week against Martin County. Again, I think we were tested early playing Atlantic, which was big for us. We didn't answer the bell. They beat our butt. So I think our kids are going to respond well this week and come out with a much better effort.
What do you think it was in that game against the Eagles? I know that's one of the, they're a state title contender perennially. Y'all are in y'all's 3rd year of existence. So even scheduling that game is a good barometer. But what do you feel like you saw as a coach?
I mean, I think we got a little bit intimidated. We didn't tackle very well in the first quarter and a half. We kind of went out there trying to feel them out a little bit, and they came out swinging and hit us in the mouth. And, it took us a while to respond. I mean, if you look at, probably from the middle of the second quarter through the third quarter, we competed and we played hard. We gave up some late scores, had a couple turnovers that really hurt us. But it was 44-7. Do I think they're that much better than we are? No. Are they better than us? Absolutely. They were a better football team that night. And, but I think one thing we did learn is that we can't compete with them. We just can't come out slow. We got to come out swinging from the jump and, see where the chips fall.
You'll get another good test against the Martin County team that's ranked in our top 10. That's Rod Harris has been there a while. That program has been kind of churning, and these kids are familiar with it and whatnot. A lot of 4-year players there and whatnot. What do you expect, and what are you preparing your guys for as y'all hit the road for a test like that?
I mean, number one is they're going to be well coached. I think he and his staff do a fantastic job. We saw him a little bit over the summer at 7-on-7. They have some really good skill kids. Their running back really impresses me. Offensive line wise, they get after it. They're going to be really physical. Defensively, they fly to the football. Number two, a corner for them, I think, is as good as we've seen. Their defensive line gets after it. So, we're going to have to put our boots on. We're going to have to tie them up tight, button the helmets up real tight because it's going to be physical. We're just going to prepare for that, being physical, answering the bell, coming out each round and swinging back. And I think if our kids will do that, we got a chance to be in it.
Y'all had an 8-win season last year, including postseason and whatnot. And what is there starting to be more of a belief there at Dr. Joaquin Garcia that, like, yes, we should be in these games, we should be winning these games, even when you're playing the Atlantics and now the Martin counties of the world?
That's what we're figuring out, right? I think from the people in our building, there's a belief that we belong, and there's a belief that we should be in those games. But like I told our guys, at the end of the day, the proof's in the pudding. And when we come out against a good team and we don't perform, then what are we telling everybody? We're telling everybody that they're right. So the reality is we're the only ones that can answer that question. And I'm hoping that Friday we kind of answer that question and quiet some of the naysayers that say that we don't beat anybody good. And but we'll see how it goes. Listen, I'm proud of the way our kids work, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna be proud of them, win, lose, or draw. But I think they're really hungry to get a kind of a really quality win against a quality opponent.
I know one of the kids that has that kind of a chip on his shoulder is Caleb Butler, your quarterback. How have you seen him progress into this year, which is now his senior campaign, as he looks to try and not just win games for y'all, but then be a guy that's playing on Saturdays?
Yeah, I think Caleb's really grown from a maturity standpoint. I mean, Caleb's very blessed with a great arm. I think Caleb needed to grow up mentally, as far as his demeanor on the field, some decisions that he made, not trying to take the game over when it wasn't necessary. He pressed a little bit against Atlantic and did some of those things, but I think that he recovered from that very well. He's definitely making better decisions with the football. We're trying to spread the ball around more, which is something that he struggled with a little bit last year. So if he can just continue to mature, really the mental part of the game, I think he's going to be a heck of a player.
And then who on that, like, what's been working defensively? Because, I mean, it's one thing to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, but the fact that y'all have been getting shutouts in these games as well means that, the communication must be strong. You must be flying to the ball. Like, what's been working for you on that side of the ball?
Yeah, I think our defensive line has really played really well the last few weeks. We're finally getting healthy up front. One of our big D tackles, Jace Gurian, had a thumb issue, was out for like 2 weeks. He's finally healthy. We have a transfer, Tyrone Miller, that came in that's starting to learn our defense, and he's a difference maker. And then Dom Lucina at middle linebacker has been pretty lights out. I mean, he's a coach's kid. He knows how to find the football. So we really, our front seven has really kind of been the difference. We've been playing disciplined football, and trying to keep pressure off our back end by pressuring the quarterback. Again, if we can continue to do those things, we're going to have a chance.
And then what needs to happen? I know you kind of laid it out a little bit right there, but what needs to happen for Garcia to walk out of Stewart on Friday night as winners of that football game?
Yeah, I think it's going to be kind of old school. We got to control the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball. I think our ability to keep Caleb clean is going to be crucial. And then our ability to stop the run on defense is going to be crucial. Not give up big home run plays, make them have to earn every yard they get, and not hurt ourselves. We've done some bonehead things as far as self-inflicted penalties that we can't do. But if we can control the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball, it's going to be a dogfight.
It's the HSS Florida High School Game Day Game of the Week. It'll be Martin County hosting your Dr. Joaquin Garcia Bulldogs. Thanks for taking our time to talk with us, and good luck on Friday night.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.